Hey everybody, how are y'all today? Sorry, I was drinking my first slushie of the year. Um, and I know I work for BP, but I'm drinking a slushie from Sheets. This is that video that I was telling you on my TikTok that I was going to make. And this video is for, I don't want to just say kids or young people, so I'm going to say 25 or younger. I still consider them teenagers. I don't know how to put it. But this is for all of you who feel like you have no other options, that you're not getting the love that you should be getting from your parents and you're just not getting it, and or you're feeling disrespected or mistreated, or just like there's no place for you. Just this is for those who are just feeling down and out. I got this idea because a couple of different my TikTok family, they've been asking me questions and trying to get advice, and I just thought I'd make a video for the questions and just give some advice. I haven't really made a YouTube video in a very long time, so bear with me because I don't have my speaking etiquette down to a T, so it might be some ums and likes in there. But I just want to tell y'all that it will get better. I know right now it seems like it won't, and you seem like you have no options, or you feel like you want to die. I just want you to know that it gets better. It just sometimes takes a little longer than you want, and it's very frustrating. But I know what it's like to have a parent that doesn't love you the way they should, or treat you the way that you should be treated, and respect you. Because a parent shouldn't matter what your sexual orientation is, like if you're gay, you're bi, you're trans. It shouldn't matter what your political views are. It shouldn't matter about anything. They should love you regardless. You are their child. They should protect you and they should love you. Those are the two most important things. And three. And take care of you. And they shouldn't make you feel like you're not wanted or you're a burden, And it really breaks my heart that a lot of you are feeling that way. I just want you to know I'm happy that you are you and you are being yourself, because you only get one chance at this thing called life. There are no do-overs. So coming out to your family and your friends, or not sharing the same views as them, there's nothing wrong with that. If they have a problem with it, it's something wrong with them. So I'm going to tell y'all something that most people don't know about me, so I know exactly where you're coming from. When I was a teenager, I tried to commit suicide because I didn't feel loved. I felt like a burden. I felt like, why should I be here when nobody wants me? Like, I felt worthless, basically. And, if I can prevent any of you all from feeling that way, I would try my hardest. When I lived with my father, he wasn't the best father. A lot of things happened to me, and went hungry a lot, got kicked out of our place. At that moment, I knew my father didn't love me for sure. He made me think that he did. He manipulated me into believing that he needed me there. And that's why I went with him instead of my mother when they got divorced. But I knew that moment that we got kicked out of our place, and I got home from school, and there was a suitcase on the porch for me. My daddy was nowhere to be found. And the neighbor, and there was a padlock on the door. That's how I know we got kicked out. And the neighbor there took me in because I didn't know how to get in touch with my mom, because he kept me away from her and wouldn't let me see her. And I hadn't seen her in I don't know how long, and she had been looking for me, but at the time I didn't know that. I just didn't think nobody loved me or wanted me. So the neighbor took me in, and then finally 2 weeks later, my father came and found me and asked me if I wanted to come live with him and his girlfriend. And I chose to stay with the neighbor because, she was treating me nice. Her kids didn't treat me nice, but she did. And she fed me and I felt safe. Luckily, my mother's relative moved into the neighborhood I was living in, and she got a hold of my mother, and my mother came and got me and took me to live with her and my brother. And I am so grateful for her, because without her, I know I would not be here today. She saved me, and I will be forever grateful for her, because if she left me with him, I might be on drugs. I might be strung out somewhere. I could be dead, who knows. But even though she came and she saved me, all that psychological trauma was still there. And she was working 2 jobs to take care of me and my brother. But I was so messed up that I still didn't feel loved, even though it was evident that she loved us, because she worked hard 7 days a week, 2 jobs to take care of us. But after everything that I went through, I just was like, why am I here? Nobody wants me. Nobody loves me. And I tried to swallow a whole lot of pills, but luckily I had a friend. Even though we've gone our separate ways now as adults, I will be forever grateful for him making me throw those pills up. So he was a blessing to me and my family, and I appreciate that very much, because who knows, But when I was going through my feeling worthless stage, a lot of things happened to me that I shouldn't have allowed to happen, but I did, because any attention or any love that I felt that I was getting, even though it was not good love, it was abusive love, and it was some people using me and disrespecting me. I just felt like any love was, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but I felt like I deserved what I was getting, even though I didn't. Being raped and being left in the middle of nowhere, not knowing how I'm going to get to where I could have got kidnapped. Anything could have happened. But I just felt like as long as I was getting attention, it was okay. I can put up with anything. I could tolerate anything, because they loved me, or but they were pretending to, of course. But I went through a lot of things, and I'm trying to save y'all the heartbreak of going through. No love like that is acceptable. Anybody being abusive mentally or physically, that's not acceptable. Just so you can feel love, it's not acceptable. Being raped or sexually abused, it's not acceptable. Being made fun of and just, saying, just blowing it off, it's okay, when deep down it's killing your soul because of that. It's not acceptable. It has to start with you loving you first. Not your family, not your friends. You have to love you in order to go forward and in order to heal. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. But it can be done. Your piece of happiness is out there. It's just going to take some time to get there. But if you never start loving yourself and accepting you for you, you will never get to this place. It took me a lot of years to get here. It took me having my first child at 16 to really understand what real love was, and how I never, ever, ever want her to be to feel anything that I felt or go through anything that I went through. I always show her how much I love her. I tell her how beautiful she is. I tell her how smart she is. Well, both of my kids, but I'm talking about my 18-year-old right now. And I try to build her up, because there's so many people in the world ready to manipulate you, ready to basically take advantage of you, use you and abuse you. And I want her to know, you don't have to accept any of that. You do not, and you will not. And y'all don't have to either. I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore. I hope I am. I hope y'all are still with me. But I just want y'all to know that there is a silver lining. Is it in the clouds or in the rainbows? There is a silver lining. It just takes time to get there. And another thing I want to tell y'all, do not accept the jokes. Like when I was younger and I lived with my dad and his family, they would make fun of me because I was overweight. I'm fat, however you want to say it. And I just want y'all to know that those jokes are not okay. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. And they just brush it off and it's okay. You know, it's just my family. No, it's not okay. Because whether you want to admit it or not, it is hurting you psychologically, mentally, physically. I mean, it's not okay. And they should have known picking on a child was not okay. And for those of you who go through it, because I know some of you do, whether you have a disability or you think you're ugly, but you're not. You think you're too big, you think you're too small, you know, and your family for some reason are like your biggest critics. They point out all your flaws. Just know it's not okay and you don't have to accept it. Sit them down and tell them, mom, dad, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, when you pick on me, it hurts my feelings. I would hope and pray that you will please stop. And if they keep doing it, or they say, oh, you just can't take a joke, and they say, no, I can't take a joke, so could you please stop? And if they don't stop, then that just shows you that they don't care or respect you, and you don't have to be around them. Remove yourself from the situation, because I'm all about getting healthy mentally, you know, because there's so many things that can go wrong in your life. And I just want each of you to find something that makes you happy and want to live and want to be happy, because this world is just a sucky place sometimes, and we all need that one little happy place. Like I said, I don't know if I'm making sense anymore. I don't even know if y'all still with me.